Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Dead Malls, your one home for the craziest and most in-depth mall tours on the web. Tonight's episode, or I guess tonight's mall, is one I have been dying to share with you all for so long now. One of my craziest and most fever dream-like explorers I've ever done in my life. The highlight of the Florida expedition, an abandoned mall we scoped for hours, trying doors, jiggling handles, eventually finding a way in, camping, waiting till after the sun had set. After a full day and night camped in the parking lot, the anticipation had settled into a quiet, eerie calm. As the Florida sun sank beneath the palm trees and the last anchor stores shuttered for the night, we knew it was time. We moved like shadows, silent, precise, hugging dark walls, slipping between dead light poles. The mall loomed ahead, lifeless and still. Then we saw it. The door cracked open. The faint glow of neon pink pulsed from deep within. Vaporwave echoes bleeding down the service corridor. We all shared one last glance, then disappeared into the dark neon night of the abandoned mall. I hope that little intro got you hyped up, because not only are we going to step into Seminole in its surreal, vaporwave-soaked state, but we're also going to tell its story. You'll get to see exactly how eerie and unsettling parts of this abandoned mall really were. With distant echoes bouncing up and down the empty neon corridors, we were never really quite sure what was waiting around each next corner. But before I give away too much, a quick shout out to our winner who was able to successfully guess the next mall. Very nice job, Retail Teddy Watcher. If you want to have your chance at being featured in the next episode, stick around for the next challenge. Anyways, let's actually dive in here, raw audio at first, so I can give y'all a sense of what this place was really like. As we stepped inside, a deafening silence swallowed us whole. The empty mall echoed with strange, distant sounds, whispers of activity long gone, too faint to identify. It felt like we had stumbled into a forgotten level of some digital liminal space. A dead water park, maybe, where echoes of laughter and whistles still lingered in the air, though no one remained. It was haunting. Every step forward pulled us deeper into a surreal vaporwave dream. The faded 90s aesthetics weren't just nostalgic, they were overwhelming. It was terror and bliss, all at the same time. We heard more distant noises. I wish my camera picked up how pink this was. This is so cool. The story of Seminole Towne Center begins in the late 1980s, a time when Central Florida was in the midst of explosive suburban growth. The Orlando metro area was rapidly expanding outward, and suburban communities like Sanford were becoming prime targets for commercial development. Developers saw a golden opportunity in this time, as the northern corridor of Seminole County lacked any major enclosed retail destination. And you may know, the late 80s, there needed to be a mall every 10 miles. The chosen site right at the intersection of I-4 and State Road 417 couldn't have been more strategic, offering direct highway access and high visibility right off the road. The grand new mall was hoped to capture traffic from commuters, tourists, and residents alike. And this wasn't just another mall. It was envisioned as a super-regional hub that could rival anything in Orlando. It was literally right at the time that we all heard that loud banging that all four of us physically observed a shadowy silhouette walk up the center court escalator to the second floor right in front of us. The figure, only lit up by the faint glow of pink neon, put us completely on edge. Fearing we may run into this individual again, we moved up to the second floor, thinking that maybe we could hide a little better being up on their level and not being preyed down upon by anyone that may have been upstairs. Developed by the Simon Property Group, one of the largest mall operators in the US, Seminole Towne Center was designed to be a modern shopping experience. Well, modern for the early 90s, which at the time meant white tiles, salmon colors, and lots of pink neons. The mall was initially planned to begin construction in 1991 with an opening for 1993. However, the early 90s recession saw Simon hold off on the project for several years while they got their papers in order. They would officially break ground on the Seminole Towne Center on September 9th, 1993, with an opening planned for 1995. After a smooth construction process, anchor stores JCPenney and Bourdain's were the first to open on September 1st, 1995, even as the final touches were still being made to the mall itself. Just 3 weeks later, on September 22nd, Seminole Towne Center officially opened its doors to the public. And it was an instant hit. Over 200,000 people packed into the mall during its opening weekend alone, with a strong lineup of anchor stores: Sears, JCPenney, Dillard's, Bourdain's, and Parisian, which marked the chain's first Florida location. The mall quickly established itself as a retail powerhouse. More than 150 stores filled its 2 levels, from Camelot Music, Aeropostale, Sam Goody, and the Disney Store, to Brookstone, Ann Taylor, Franklin Quest, The Limited, and The Gap. These colorful, neon-washed storefronts drew shoppers from all across Central Florida. And aesthetically, aside from a few story models over the years, walking through the mall today is like stepping right back into 1995. A true Vaporwave time capsule, and a testament to Simon's final era of architecturally impressive malls. Thanks to its healthy roster of tenants and a massive second-floor food court, Seminole Towne Center thrived throughout the late 90s. And while it faced stiff competition from nearby malls like Altamonte, Lakeland Square, and eventually West Oaks in 1996, Seminole carved out its own territory, its own little region of pull, and held its own throughout the rest of the decade. Now we're going to take a quick pause on the history and the raw audio horror element of this whole Explorer, because once we finally hit the center court, I think all of us were completely locked in trance, trying just to find the best way to capture the pure magic and beauty of those neons and the way that they hit the tile floors. Paired with the forgotten doves and bells, this place was simply enchanting. And since we heard security's hold up in the food court, we dared not to stray too far in that direction. this didn't even feel real. Washed under a dim glow of hot neons, Seminole in so many places just felt alive. The colors, the aesthetics, it's impossibly sad at just how much we've lost in architectural beauty. Being here, chasing that pink glow, made me never want to leave. Real quick though, what I like to call the bug of Seminole.
Oh, dude, that's a roach. Dude, that is a roach. Is that a cockroach? Oh, it is. There he is. There you go. Cockroaches in the Seminole Towne Center. That's a massive cockroach, dude. Oh, wow, that's cool. There's security cameras in there.
These little entry corridors had their own charm to them, especially this neon-lit shoe repair shop that caught my eye. I couldn't resist grabbing a few quick shots, even though it was quite literally right by the open glass doors, where anyone could have walked by and seen me just standing there. The thought hit me mid-recording, and I quickly made my way back to the others and the safety of the enclosed mall.
My little town. There's a little playground in there. Let's go over here and take a look.
On April 18, 1996, the mall added its one and only real expansion, being a 10-screen United Artists theater on the southwest outparcel simply known as Seminole Towne Center 10. Plans originally once called for a sixth anchor, which would have been right on the right side here across from Sears, but they never got off the ground. The grass lot meant for it still sits empty today, a silent reminder of unfinished plans. As the 2000s rolled in, Seminole Towne Center continued to hold steady. It was still the go-to spot for shopping and weekend hangouts in the north-central Orlando metro. The food court buzzed, escalators hummed, and the carousel near the center court spun endlessly under soft neon lights. For a while it seemed like the good times would last forever, but behind the scenes, the retail world was quietly beginning to shift. Online shopping was gaining traction and consumer habits were changing. Department stores, once the anchors of American malls, started showing cracks. Parisian was the first to go in 2004, becoming McRae's, then Belk in 2006, before transforming into Burlington in 2010. A long-beloved Florida name, Burdeens, was also folded into Macy's by 2005. On the surface, the mall still looked healthy, but the shine was fading. Familiar stores began disappearing one by one, replaced with lower rent tenants or left empty altogether. Still, there was some effort made to turn things around. In the early 2010s, the mall made a push to rebrand itself as a higher-end shopping destination. Management brought in new retailers like H&M, Buckle, Coach, Hollister, and other trendier fashion-forward names, trying to give the mall a more upscale image. And for a brief moment, it felt like maybe the mall could reinvent itself. But these efforts came too late. Competition from updated centers like Altamonte and newer open-air lifestyle plazas like Uptown Altamonte or the Waterford Lakes made it impossible for Seminole to regain ground. An outdated 90s mall going into the retail apocalypse? Oh, what could go wrong?
Spencer gives right there. Hey.
If we get caught in the middle, we'll walk towards them, and as we're in the middle, we're dashing towards them.
Do you know where they might be by chance? Look at these photographers here. Everybody getting their own shot.
Welcome to the Neon Oasis. The mall's hard, frozen mid-beat. Time forgot to switch off the lights here, and now everything hums in eternal twilight. From above, it's a glowing relic, but down here, beneath the buzzing food court sign, the air itself quite literally felt electric, like we were all stepping into a midnight memory that refused to die. As the 2010s wore on, the cracks in Seminole Towne Center began to widen. In 2012, the former Parisian anchor, which had cycled through McRae's and Belk, was split between two new tenants. Burlington opened on the lower level, while Dick's Sporting Goods moved in upstairs. For a brief moment, it seemed like the mall might be adapting to a new retail landscape, but the overall momentum was already shifting. That same year, Sears quietly downsized its store to just the second floor, closing off the first level entirely. Then, on May 28, 2014, Simon Property Group executed a major corporate restructuring, spinning off 98 of their underperforming malls, including Seminole Towne Center, into a new company called Washington Prime. The move signaled a clear downgrade in the mall's perceived value, and with that came a slow unraveling. Through the mid to late 2010s, national chains continued to pull out, and vacant storefronts became harder to ignore. The food court thinned out, the carousel was removed, and with each year, more sections of the mall grew quiet. In early 2018, it was announced Sears would be leaving the complex entirely, with the original name finally closing for good on September 2nd, 2018, ending a 24-year run. The 10-screen theaters operated for a short time by AMC would also close on December 27, 2018, and the mall's former theater has sat abandoned ever since. Macy's, formerly Burdeen's, after years of slumping sales, would follow suit in early 2021, leaving Seminole Towne Center without two of its original anchor tenants, and one side of the entire complex almost entirely vacant. In March of 2020, Seminole Towne Center changed hands when Washington Prime Group sold it for just over $52 million to Seminole Mall Realty Holding, a joint venture between a group called Fourth Dimension Properties and the notorious Kohan. Kohan took majority control, and given their track record, that wasn't a good omen. By early 2022, new life started in the long vacant Sears space, with the opening of Elevate Fun, a massive entertainment complex featuring arcade games, bowling, and go-karts. It briefly revived the mall, drawing families and locals back through its doors. But the momentum didn't last. Burlington closed later that year, and aside from a short-lived Spirit Halloween in its space, it sat empty. Financial trouble soon followed. By mid-2023, the mall owed over $824,000 in unpaid property taxes.
Goodbye, Seminole. You were a treat.
And in early 2024, Florida Power & Light cut electricity for 2 days due to unpaid bills. In May of 2024, Fourth Dimension bought out Kohan's share and paid off the $1.6 million in back taxes outright, pledging repairs and new tenants. But years of neglect had taken their toll. Even as the lights came back on, Seminole Towne Center remained a hollow reminder of a retail era Florida had long left behind. In January of 2025, it was confirmed that Seminole Towne Center's interior mall concourse would officially close for good. Only the anchors, Dillard's, JCPenney, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Elevate Fun would stay open, as the rest prepared for redevelopment. Seminole Towne Center held its final day on Friday, January 31st, 2025. Just a couple months later, in March, Atlanta-based The Ardent Companies bought 76 acres of the property for about $17 million. Their goal? To turn the mall into a massive mixed-use destination with apartments, hotels, restaurants, and new retail. Sanford officials call it the largest retail to mixed-use conversion in Seminole County history. Demolition could start as soon as 2026, with the full project stretching into 2027. So it's another one of those cases where we will all simply just have to wait and see what happens. Will the process work out as smoothly as so many of us hope, or will the abandoned mall continue to sit, rotting and stuck in the 1990s? Your guess is as good as mine. Folks, I want to take a quick moment to thank those of you that have stuck around. If you've enjoyed tonight's video, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on future episodes. Seminole Towne Center was such an otherworldly explorer, it's hard to even find words for it, and it was easily one of those that I will never forget about. What did you think about it though? Let me know down below in the comments. In the next episode, we'll be back in Florida once again, this time checking out an abandoned mall which has sat unheard of and untouched for years. With its lights still on, this was an adventure we completed at 2 in the morning. Be the first to guess which mall we'll be at, and I'll shout you out in the next episode. But until I see you all then, have yourselves a lovely evening, and peace out you guys. See you later.